Many people believe the hardest part of weight loss injections is losing the weight. But for many adults, especially women over 40 and 50, the real challenge begins after the injections stop, because nobody really prepares people for what can happen next. The sudden return of hunger, the emotional crashes, the exhaustion, the bloating, the anxiety about regaining weight, the changes in skin, hair, digestion, hormones, and even identity. And perhaps most importantly, nobody explains how to rebuild the body in a healthy, sustainable way afterward. That is exactly why I created this 12-week recovery series. Not to shame people for using Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or other GLP-1 medications, and not to create fear, but to have a more honest conversation about recovery, stabilization, and long-term health after rapid weight loss. Because many people are quietly struggling after these medications and feeling completely alone in the process. By the way, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. You might help someone else find real answers. What I want people to understand is this: your body is not failing you. Your body is adapting, and recovery is possible when you understand what is actually happening physiologically, emotionally, hormonally, and metabolically. One of the biggest misunderstandings around GLP-1 medications is the idea that once the weight comes off, everything automatically becomes easier. But rapid weight loss creates stress inside the body, even when the weight loss itself feels positive emotionally. Your metabolism adapts, your appetite hormones shift, muscle mass can decline, nutrient deficiencies can develop, the nervous system can become dysregulated, and many people discover they were using food not only for hunger, but also for emotional comfort, stress relief, stimulation, or stability. So when the medication stops, the body often reacts very intensely. That does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you lack discipline. And it certainly does not mean you ruined your progress. It means your body now needs support during a transition period. One of the first things many people experience after stopping injections is the sudden return of appetite. For some people, it feels almost shocking. After months of reduced hunger, food noise can suddenly come rushing back, sometimes combined with fear, guilt, or panic about regaining weight. And that emotional fear alone can increase stress hormones and destabilize eating patterns even further. This is why recovery cannot be based on restriction and punishment. Recovery has to be based on stabilization. The goal is not to aggressively control the body. The goal is to help the body feel safe enough to regulate again. Another major issue many people experience is muscle loss. And honestly, this is one of the least discussed parts of rapid weight loss. A lot of people focus entirely on the number on the scale without realizing how much lean muscle may also be disappearing during the process. But muscle is deeply connected to metabolism, strength, energy, blood sugar stability, mobility, aging, and long-term weight maintenance. This is especially important for women over 50. Because after menopause, preserving muscle becomes one of the most important foundations of healthy aging. So recovery is not simply about staying thin. Recovery is about rebuilding strength. That includes adequate protein, gentle resistance training, walking consistently, supporting metabolism instead of starving it, and understanding that sustainable health looks very different from rapid weight loss culture. Another important conversation in this series is emotional recovery. Many people are surprised by the emotional changes that can happen during or after GLP-1 medications. Some people describe emotional flatness, others experience anxiety, some notice increased emotional sensitivity or even depression. And in many cases, this is connected to dopamine, nervous system regulation, identity shifts, and the psychological adjustments that happen after major body changes. Because losing weight does not automatically heal emotional pain. Sometimes it actually exposes emotions that were being buried underneath years of coping patterns. That is why emotional healing has to become part of the recovery conversation too. And I think this matters deeply because modern wellness culture often talks about weight loss as though it automatically creates happiness, confidence, peace, and self worth. But real healing is much more nuanced than that. Real healing is learning how to feel safe in your body again. Another issue many people quietly struggle with is changes in appearance that they did not expect. Hair thinning, loose skin, facial volume loss, looking older very quickly after rapid weight loss. And this can become emotionally difficult because people may finally lose the weight they fought for years to lose, yet still feel unhappy or shocked when they look in the mirror. This is why the series talks honestly about collagen, nutrient support, hydration, muscle preservation, realistic expectations, and recovery timelines. Not from a vanity perspective, but from a whole body health perspective. Because aging well is not only about losing weight, it is about maintaining vitality. One of the most important themes throughout this entire series is the nervous system. The body cannot heal properly while living in chronic panic, shame, exhaustion, or self-criticism. And unfortunately, many adults have spent decades trapped in cycles of stress, over-restriction, emotional eating, guilt, and metabolic instability. So the goal is not perfection. The goal is regulation, steady blood sugar, consistent nourishment, better sleep, daily movement, strength rebuilding, digestive healing, hormonal support, and learning how to work with the body instead of constantly fighting it. Because sustainable health is usually much quieter than modern diet culture makes people believe. It is built through consistency, not extremes. If there is one thing I hope people take away from this series, it is this. Your recovery does not have to look dramatic to be successful. Sometimes recovery simply looks like eating enough protein consistently, walking every day, sleeping better, strengthening your body slowly, healing digestion, reducing inflammation, learning emotional awareness, and rebuilding trust with yourself after years of battling your own body. That is real progress, and it matters far more than quick transformations. So if you are currently recovering after Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or any rapid weight loss journey, I want you to know this. Your body is not broken. It may simply need time, nourishment, support, and stability to recover properly. And that recovery deserves patience instead of shame. If you would like to explore the full 12-week series in depth, the articles are available inside the magazine, where we go much deeper into metabolism recovery, emotional healing, hormones, digestion, muscle rebuilding, long-term weight stabilization, and healthy aging after GLP-1 medications. And if you want additional books, tools, and deeper wellness resources, you can also explore the vault for more support on healing, reinvention, women's health, and sustainable recovery. Everything is linked below.